Okay, stand by.
Hey, here's a question right up front. Hey, it was a fantastic experience. Ozzy is a legend, and he comes from a background of not only just as an actor, but as a writer, a historian, a social activist. And frequently, Bruce Campbell would turn to him and say, "Ozzy, what are you doing in this movie?" And I'm not sure that Ozzy never exactly understood what movie he was in, to tell you the truth. He's an actor first, and he just had that role of the president down. It's almost like you'd wind him up and he'd do it. And I would tell you, unfortunately he passed a couple of years ago, and to my everlasting regret, I just wish that he could come out to a gathering like this, because the goodwill that he created among genre fans, he never witnessed. I mean, I don't think he ever had a clue that it would be something like a Monster Mania. Yet, if he could be here today, I think he could see what he achieved. It would make a little more sense to him. Unfortunately, that's not worked out. But he was a great guy, great man, and obviously he was a legend. Thanks for that question. All right, back to it.
Has there been any talks about a remake of Phantasm?
Well, of course, because they're look at the movies they're remaking. They're remaking everything these days. I like to think that Phantasm is one of the upper shelf franchises, and maybe the only one of those that hasn't been remade yet. So there is some pressure.
How do you feel about that?
On first glance, it's a little worrisome because some of the remakes have been good, and some of them have really sucked. And I would hate to have ours fall into that category, but that's really not to say, and this is that, the fan interpretations of the Phantasm mythos or whatever is, for me, some of the most satisfying things. And I have read fan fiction where people have gone off into other directions, where things that we have never even conceived of for Phantasm. So, on a completely elevated level, the thought that maybe you could find some visionary young filmmaker who had an idea, to take Phantasm and take it into another world, that would be really cool. So I don't know, maybe one day the stars might align where that might be possible. But then on the same hand, I hope that I can continue to make Phantasm movies with the present company right here as long as I live. And maybe.
Will Phantasm 2 ever see the light of day on DVD?
Well, the answer is, of course it will at some point. Unfortunately, what happened is that Universal Studios has the rights to that, the Phantasm 2 DVD in the U.S. And Anchor Bay has the rights to 1, 3, and 4. And so Anchor Bay thought they could go and maybe sub-license the rights from Universal. But I found out there's this one little rivalry problem between them. As many years ago, somebody over at Universal licensed the Army of Darkness rights to Anchor Bay. And as we all know, they sold zillions and zillions of not only units, but they made zillions of different editions of the thing. And I think that in a funny way, Universal, it didn't hit them that good. Like, why should we license our stuff when people can go make money? So I think the idea that Anchor Bay is to go and get the rights from Universal, I don't know that those companies are working in that way. So hard to say when. I think we try to contact whenever we have the opportunity somebody at Universal. We ask them what's going on, but frankly, sequels with Roman numerals attached are pretty low on their radar. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, I do at some point. Yeah, absolutely. It's just a question of when, because I think that there's just right now I think you start to notice that a lot of DVD companies are slowing down on their box set editions because there's a contraction of the market economically. So we have to wait until the stimulus package kicks in, and then maybe we'll see the sphere set. Yeah, way in the back there. Oh, okay. Yes.
In Phantasm 3 special features, it shows Mike and Reggie running from the tall man underground. What was that scene?
Hey Mike, can you tell us about, Reggie, can you tell us about that? Remember in Phantasm 3, there was a sequence where Mike and Reggie are running through an underground cavern, and then this orifice-type door opens and they dive through. Do you remember that sequence?
Yeah, I think I do, Jack. Jack, right? Yeah. Yeah, what about it though? I mean, it's like Phantasm is so far out, you know. It's, where are we going? What's going on? You know, it's like, what's happening? You know, so what the hell is going on? I mean, that's one of the greatest lines in the first film. It's like, what the hell is going on? Because nobody really knows. It's what's interesting about it, Jack, is the original picture is like an interactive thing. Before interactive, the term was ever really, invented. And because it makes you think, makes you wonder, and it makes you wonder where the characters are going, where you fit in as an observer, what the hell's going on? Now, I've often thought that you could probably make a movie of people in movies going, what the hell's going on? I mean, just about every movie you see, somebody says that, and it's a good question, Jack.
Sir, I'm sorry, but I was just wondering, like, when you started making movies, did you enjoy scaring people, or did you kind of like get off making people like scared and stuff?
Where's the question coming from? There we go. Thank you. Voice out of nowhere. Yes. Could you repeat the question? We were searching over here for you and couldn't find you.
So, when you scare people, do you enjoy scaring people, like enjoying their reaction?
Oh, hell yeah.
Or do you enjoy your own reaction to scaring people, like getting off on scaring people?
No, I enjoy scaring people. I mean, look, imagine if you're a filmmaker, right? Okay, so I'll play the audience. So you're watching the drama, right? And here's what the people do. Is that the reaction you want? Or a comedy? Ha, 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 ha. Is that what you want? There you go. Oh, shit! Now, for a filmmaker, that is a response from an audience. So I made this, Reggie and I worked on this picture together, Kenny and Company, and we made this little movie, and there's a scene in a haunted house, and this guy in a monster costume jumps out, and we got that response in the one scene from the audience, and I saw that, and I thought, I have got to make a horror movie where we have lots of those, and that's where the Phantasm came from.
So like one day you're just sitting around with your boy, you're like, man, we're gonna sit around and we're gonna get scared and we're gonna make this fucking movie and they'll like jump out of corners and get scared or whatever, and that's what made you want to make horror movies?
Well, first off, I was a great fan of horror movies, as I think all of us were in our youth. In fact, can you guys tell me which of the movies that were influences for you in terms of horror films? I mean, which were the ones that really scared you first?
Psycho, baby. Psycho.